All right, we are live. All right, so since last Friday, this is what the production line has changed and looked like. Let's go ahead and flip these lights on here real quick. And I'll do a quick intro. All right, guys, so my name is Adam Zubar here. I am the head of sales, and one I'll be showing you guys around today on the live on a few builds that we have, but also some client stories and also the story behind the company on really what got us to what we are building here today. So, all right, well, let's dive in, and I'll start it off with Okay, 1 second. Let's double check. All right, so it looks like we are live and cross IG right now and also on YouTube and Facebook. So I will quickly walk you guys through the production line since last we saw on Friday. And so yeah, we've had 2 new colors drop in. So we have this Pebble Beach Green, which is a new one-of-one edition that we're doing. Check it out. Absolutely stunning. It's kind of like the Brittany Blue, but also kind of just like new color. And we're doing this custom stripe here with the green see-through. So body matching stripe through there with the white. And I'll do a quick intro if you guys do not know me since I did the live on Friday. My name is Adam Zubar. I am the head of sales here, and I'll be walking you guys through really the story on really the kind of how the company started, but also some of the client stories on which we see here. Now, there's a fascinating story on really like how the company started. I mean, it all kind of just started out of this necessity on the company needing, and well, the world needing this product that was just not evolving. It was this kind of this thing that you'd buy. It's a classic Bronco, and it would be built on 50-year-old engineering, 50-year-old technology, but really we understood what our clients wanted, and you wanted something more. You wanted something that was just like your modern luxury cars that you drive every single day with all of your modern engineering, modern technology, but most importantly, your modern safety features, because why do you want to get into a vehicle with no safety features? And so what you see here is just after iteration and iteration, to having something all built on a 2025 Ford chassis. So with that, you get all of your modern 2025 technology. We retain your drivetrain and your frame, but most importantly, your 6 airbags. You have 1 in your steering wheel, 1 in your passenger dashboard, 2 in each of the front seats, and then 2 curtain airbags. And then this is also a functioning roll bar. So in case of a rollover accident, you and your family are protected. But most importantly, what we also do is lay the sound deadening all throughout the inside of the vehicle. So when you drive it, it is it cancels out the majority of all that, like 99% of that road noise, vibrations, and you can have conversations going highway speeds. Now, something else that we do is we partnered up with Fox Factory for the suspension. Typically with like old classics, you get solid axles, This vehicle is built on a IFS chassis, so independent front suspension. So if you hit a bump on one side of the vehicle, it's just going to move that one wheel instead of the whole vehicle with like the solid axles. So typically with solid axles, it's like an off-road vehicle. You can take this vehicle off-road if you wanted. You have like shift on the fly, 4x4, everything like that. But I'd have to say majority will stay on the pavement. So check this out. This is a macadamia metallic with the black trim and satin black wheels. And then this has the ball glove brown interior. So this vehicle actually just wrapped up our final inspection here. So the final inspection, it's a strenuous inspection that goes through every single aspect of the entire vehicle, down to not even just the panels, the underside, the engine bay, the interior, and we have an army that goes through it. Our head of operations, sometimes even our founder CEO joins in. Our production line manager, and some of our team leads and engineers go through each one of the vehicles to ensure it's absolutely perfect before it ships out to a client. And if anything comes up, which is unlikely, but if it does, the vehicle does not leave the facility till it is 100% taken care of. And I mean, this is the world-class product that we're building here, and to ensure that our clients are 100% happy, but also absolutely get exactly what you pay for. So, and we've been building these vehicles for a very long time, ever since 2018, building those restorations, and that product is just a vehicle that you can only do so much to, because it's all built on the 50-year-old engineering and 50-year-old tech and old panels, trying to make them new, and all in a garage shop, and it's just not repeatable, but also it's not reliable, and it's not a well-built product, and it's very, very, very limited. And when I originally started in the company, we were building off of the Resto mods, and the Resto mods, they were better, but they still weren't just like your modern cars, because although they're new bodies, new chassis, new drivetrains, and they were still based off of 50-year-old engineering, and so in aftermarket parts, but most importantly, the biggest difference was being built off of what's called a 92-inch wheelbase. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom over towards a vehicle that's built on a 92-inch wheelbase, and is a great example of a Resto mod, which you see right here. So this cobalt blue build right here is a true Resto mod that we built, and it's actually one of the very, very few 5-speed manual builds. But check this out. So this is what we used to build. So the 92-inch wheelbase, what that means is that these two axles are closer together, and then the track width is 2 inches narrower than this vehicle, which you see right here. This vehicle, which is our current model, is all built on a 100-inch wheelbase. So that means that these two axles are further apart, and 8 inches to be exact, and then 2 inches wider on the two front wheels. And so what that leads you to have is having a lower center of gravity. So when you drive it, it's not feeling like you're going to tip going through each corner, but also with the suspension versus what we had on this vehicle, you'll have coilover suspension. So when you drive this, I mean, the body rolls to a minimal. With this vehicle, if you guys have ever driven like an old classic car, you get lots and lots of body roll from the front, from the back, and also it just feels like you can tip very easily in this vehicle. But with this vehicle, you can take corners and turns very, very confidently, and you can drive it just like your modern luxury car. It went from clients just only wanting to put a few, 100 miles per year on those classic Broncos to now putting thousands and tens of thousands of miles on our vehicles. But you also get the reliability of the modern vehicle, because with this vehicle, you'd have a new engine, but you would also have an aftermarket wiring harness that's not necessarily built for this chassis, and that just ends up leaving to where you can just have this open rat's nest of different problems. And with our warranty today, all built on this modern 2025 Ford chassis is you get a 3-year, 36,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty. So what that means is like your service, your maintenance, you can take it to pretty much any local dealer or any mechanic. Now, if anything comes up outside of your service and maintenance, we have traveling technicians that will fly to your home and handle anything in your garage within 72 hours. And if you go and try and see if any other like classic car builder or really any builder out there will do that, it's very, very, very unlikely. And we just know what good looks like because our clients know what good looks like. So another thing down to the interior, which you just don't see, which I just showed you on that Resto Mod Bronco, is everything throughout the interior. Our founder, he has a Urus and a G-Wagon, and he gave those vehicles to our engineering team, and he said, make our interior better. So anything that was like plastic or cheap aluminum, we converted to billet aluminum, leather wrapped, Alcantara wrapped all throughout the inside of the vehicle. So, I mean, when you drive it, it is on par with a Bentley. This is one of my favorite parts. So this is the original window crank, but it's electric. So that was just like the vintage modern philosophy that we had throughout the entire process. So, but you even have like heated seats, heated steering wheel, of course your shift on the fly 4x4, and then the soft top is super nice. You can just push this up with one hand. This is a heavier marine grade vinyl. Push this up with one hand. Your wife, your kids can do it very, very easy. And then just pop that back, and then you have sun over your front seats. Now, this vehicle is a fully equipped vehicle. So what that means is you have a range of different options, and you guys, what you can do is you can text or call the number that's listed in the caption, and you can talk to our team and they'll be able to walk you through a bunch of the different options on each one of the vehicles. But basically through here on what this vehicle has is you get the upgraded Fox suspension, you get the Roush Performance. So we partnered up with Roush Performance. They do our intake, exhaust, Ford Performance tune. That adds about 30 horsepower to the vehicle and about 50 pound-feet of torque. So total vehicle is pushing 330 horsepower, roughly 400 pound-feet of torque. So more than enough power for this size of vehicle. And you also get the retractable steps here. So get the retractable steps. You also have the upgraded audio system. So what that means is we partnered up with Focal Audio. So you get additional speakers, tweeters in the front, additional speakers in the rear. And then we engineered a subwoofer that gets tucked right into the side panel right here. This is also one of my favorite options here. This is the teak wood. And then you have the built-in cooler right in here. So, Tommy, I see one of your questions is this one for sale? So, this vehicle was for sale last week and sold extremely quick, as it was one of the very few builds that skipped our wait list. But we can do one just like it. I know if you speak with our team, they would be able to share a little bit more about our current availability on either what's coming up or what's in progress. So happy to share more, and you can call or text that number at the very bottom. But all of these options that you see here are all spoken for and sold. But we do have one that's in progress that looks just like this vehicle right here, which you would still be able to like choose all of your different colors, options, everything like that. And we could get you one right in time for Christmas. So, but right through here, this is our production line. We have the Wimbledon white. Let's see, which client is this? So this is the worn glove interior. So this is one of our more popular options for the interior. It's just such a beautiful vintage tan on the inside of the vehicle. It goes really well with like the light classic colors. So if you like the whites, the greens right here, this one also has it, as you can tell. It's just ties it in so well. And then you also get like parking sensors, backup cameras here. This one comes with a tan top, so sometimes clients, if they go with the tan interior, you can also go with a tan top that goes very similar. And then you have this Brittany blue here with the Wimbledon white accents all throughout. And then this is my other favorite interior, which is the ball glove brown. So if I was to build one out, I'd probably go with the ball glove brown. And then we just had a color that shipped out to a client that has bought. He loved his one so much, the first vehicle that he bought last year, that he just went with another one to have at his Florida home. So, and typically clients just, you would buy a classic car, you wouldn't want another because you barely drive it, just sits in the garage, you wouldn't drive it anymore, and just collects dust, and you just end up spending more and more money into it because it just doesn't run like your modern car. You'd rather just drive your G-Wagon, your Range Rover, your Porsche, just things that you don't even have to think about. We're all busy. Nobody wants to tinker with a 50-year-old vehicle. And so with this vehicle, you get the look of one of the best looking classic designs in the world, but you also get the modern drivability, reliability, and safety to the vehicle. So, but what you see right here, this is one of our demo vehicles that is going to be another option. So we are just north of Atlanta, so if you guys were to come here to take a test drive, we're all by appointment, but be able to take one for a drive and get a feel for one of the world's hottest cars on the market. What do you guys think about this mallard green? We used to, there's not too popular of a color, but now that we have built two in like the same amount of time, it feels like we're seeing them so much. All right, so it is pretty late here out in Atlanta, but we do have a few team members that are still around that I want to introduce you guys to. So, but we'll be able to catch somebody through here. Back to the macadamia metallic, which is more like a, it could totally pull off a classic vintage color. Let's see which client this is. Okay, so this is Joshua, our client Joshua. So this client, he is over on the West Coast. I'm going to have to text him. I showcase this build. I may actually text him right now. But check this out. So I remember when we were speccing his out, and he wanted to go, he was in between going either with a chrome trim or the full black trim, and then also was in between either going with like even like a chocolate interior that's a little bit more like actually the macadamia metallic that we recently completed. Probably if you guys remember seeing it on Friday. But I actually really like the way this turned out because you get the black roll bars, you get the black grille, you get the ball glove brown that like just contrasts it so well. So check this out. It is so good. You know what? I'm actually going to text Joshua right now. So what do you guys think of this one? So with the black trim, the black wheels, All right, so guys, I want to quickly introduce you to John. He's our VP of Operations here at Vintage Modern, and he's going to walk you through what we go through with the inspection process here at our final inspection. So, guys, meet John.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, so I think it's actually better to start down at the end here.
Yeah.
Let's talk through the whole process. Because the biggest thing in manufacturing and assembly is root cause analysis and feedback. So how we have this set up, I think, is pretty unique because it gives us the opportunity to really give the scores to our test, right? Every single day is an opportunity to improve. So for example, right here, this station is what we call assembly inspection. Oh, you guys can't hear me? No. Speak up. Sorry, I'll get closer to the camera. So this station here is what we call assembly inspection. So basically, after the entire assembly of the vehicle, our lead quality inspector at this station comes through and audits the entire vehicle. So we have about 350 functional and aesthetic checks that we go through with the car. So we have a quality management system that documents every single, potential defect that could be, generated through the build process. And so as the vehicle goes through, sorry guys, do you have a microphone or something? I can't speak.
I think we're going to have to get a microphone for this next go.
Yeah, sorry guys. Here, I can turn the music off.
Or even just maybe we'll hold...
Let me stop here. Nice. Let me turn this down. All right. I hope everybody can hear me. So, here, maybe I'll hold the phone.
Yeah, hold the phone here.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're trying new things here, guys. Sorry. So this station here is what we call repair and rework. So repair and rework is not something that we want to do, but obviously when we're building the level of vehicles that we do, everything has to be absolutely perfect. So we have a team of dedicated resources here that anything that's found to be incorrect in this station here moves here. This team goes through and makes all of the corrections to the vehicle to ensure everything's 100%. Once they've completed their work here at this station, the lead inspector will come over and validate and make sure everything is 100%. From there, the vehicle moves into what we call final detail. So in the final detail station, we're going through and basically buffing, polishing, ceramic coating, and cleaning the entire car, making sure everything is absolutely perfect before we ship the car to the customer. And so at the end of this and every single day, our executive team, our managers and key stakeholders actually personally go through and audit the vehicle. So you can see some of the areas where there's little bits of tape on the vehicle. That is where we would still have some sort of defect. So obviously if there's a defect at the very end of the assembly process, that is not a good thing. We do not want that. So kind of tying this back to root cause analysis and feedback to our team, every single morning, we actually have a large morning meeting with our entire team to go over our performance on the last car to figure out how we can ensure we don't have that same repeat problem. And that's how we, drive repeatability and higher quality in every single vehicle that we produce. But the end result is that everything on the car is 100% perfect before we're going to our customers. And myself and or our founder of the company and CEO personally inspect and audit every single vehicle before they ship to our customers. And I think you guys can see the level of quality and everything that goes into these vehicles. They are absolutely beautiful and perfect. I'll show you guys some kind of close-up highlights.
So walk us through more of what do you guys look for?
Yeah, so basically at this step in our process that everything functional, mechanical, safety critical would be 100%. There's no way the vehicle could get to this point. So really at the end here, this is basically fitment and aesthetics of the car, making sure that there's no, specks of, watermarks or there's a towel scratch from, the vehicle, the polish being wiped off of the vehicle. So in this process right here, it's making sure that aesthetically the car is absolutely perfect. And we go to very, very granular detail to make sure every little square inch of the vehicle, it could be the undersides of the seats, every little trim detail. It doesn't matter which type of surface it is. We do as much as we possibly can. And I think you guys can see in here, There's literally zero imperfections in the paint. There is no allowable trash or fish eyes, scratches, anything like that. You could put this in the sun and inspect it, and you would not find anything.
Share with the viewers a huge accomplishment that we had recently.
Yeah, no, so talking about processes and establishing repeatability is that, detailing a vehicle can be somewhat of a subjective thing, and it's very difficult because everyone sees things, in different ways. And so one of the big things that we had done, which we have 30 total workstations, and our detail station was the only one that did not have SOPs, which stands for Standard Operating Procedure. And so our team here worked tirelessly to develop that standard for how do we detail the vehicle the same way every single time to drive the same result every single time. So they went from an average of about 40 defects on every vehicle to averaging less than 4 currently. So they've had a dramatic improvement and in a very short period of time, and it's through establishing those processes.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Adam, I'm going to hand the phone back to you guys, but it was very nice to meet everyone, and I hope you guys got value out of that. I'm sure I'll do it again soon.
Thank you, John. And if you guys want to talk to him more, buy a car from us. This is a absolutely stunning build, and it's getting wrapped up here shortly. And I know Joshua will absolutely love this out in LA. And the other one that we do have that's out in LA that's a little bit different, has the chrome wheels, the chrome trim, same brown interior, and but it has a completely different twist. It's a celebrity client, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. So, but we have some incredible clients all throughout the world, and recently one just went over towards Austria. So we have clients that drive these and enjoy them all across the world, and you could be driving one and enjoying it as well. And it's such a fun experience because no matter where you take it, wherever you take it, people will always ask you what year it is, and I always tell them to guess, and they'll take a look at it and they'll check out the lines, they'll check out the gaps, and they'll go like 1968 or 1972. And I'll tell them you're pretty close, but take a look at the inside, and I'll say it's actually a 2025, and they'll get a good crack at it and laugh at it. And you just don't get that with a lot of vehicles anymore. You just everything's going just more sleek, more modern, and you don't see these vehicles anymore, and people just think it's an original classic from the early days. So. This is a custom color, which is a Sherwood Greens. Client's name is Lindsay, and absolutely I'm so excited for her to receive it because I know we've spent a lot of time to narrow down the color on exactly what she wanted. I originally started off with the blues and then went to the greens, and she landed on this version of Sherwood Green with no metallic. So it's a lighter, almost, I wouldn't call it a military green, but it could totally be pulled off like a military green. But this car just wears it too classy to be called like a military green. If you wanted something more military, I'd say you can switch it up and go with like black wheels and black trim. But this one's going to have the chrome wheels and chrome trim. But and this one, of course, has the ball glove brown interior on the inside, and body matching dashboard. So say you guys were to order a vehicle with us, you would be introduced to our design and concierge team. And there you would be able to go through the whole design process to ensure that the vehicle is absolutely 100% and exactly what you wanted to order. And you have a range of different options that you can choose from, to different color accents, trims, wheels, of course, like suspension, your performance, but most importantly, like your design for your like interior and your exterior colors. And we have a range of, any color in the world. If you wanted to go with it, you could fully customize it and make it one of one if you wanted. So, and we absolutely love the one of one editions, and I'll go swing over to one here shortly. You guys have probably already seen it on Instagram if you keep close to it, or to our loyal fans, but it's a custom floral Love Shack one of one edition. So, but this is another vehicle. This is the macadamia metallic with the stripes and the Wimbledon white trim, and then chrome wheels. And then this one has the light tan interior, so the worn glove, still really, really beautiful. And then you have the Wimbledon white top. So I think this is something you don't typically see, because you have the Wimbledon white trim and the chrome wheels, which typically it's hey, you match it, you go with the black trim and the black wheels, just like this client. This client's name is Dave, huge Longhorns fan if you can't tell, and he enjoys his. He drives his over towards all across Austin, Texas. And then of course you get the ball glove brown interior, and I really like this. I think Hot Ginger is, or actually this one's a custom painted sample, so the Longhorn orange metallic, you can go with the black trim and the black wheels. I'd say if it was my preference, I'd go more classic, just because if you're going with this vehicle, you got to go classic, but also with the black trim and the black wheels. The classic orange just wears it well to where you're still standing out. So, and I think with this vehicle, you get this, it's just this quiet luxury of a vehicle, because if you know, and people don't know if it's a $50,000 Bronco, $100,000, $150,000 or $300,000. And that's a great part, because people still to this day, like I said, they ask what year it is, and you tell them to guess, and you don't hear that as often with any types of vehicles. But check this out. So this is another macadamia. This is going to one of our partners up in Indianapolis. So if you guys want to get a vintage modern and you're in the area of Indianapolis, you can go head up towards Ray Hall Performance. They're a great dealer, and he has one of our builds as well already, which is a lime custom green. So, but he's going with the stripes, chrome wheels, the chrome trim, and the chocolate interior with the woven tuxedo. Yeah, the spec is so beautiful. I think he did so well with it. So nice. Yeah, and you can see just how different each one of these looks, with like each one that like the one that we saw earlier in the light tunnel, Joshua's. This one looks completely different, but it's the same color, because it doesn't have a black grille. It has the vintage stripes, a little bit more classic than a modern, but then you also have that chocolate interior, which I told you guys, which Joshua was going in between, and then the woven tuxedo. Each one of these is actually a thread that you can go, you can change the color of this if you wanted. You could go with like a chocolate woven, but I think you got to go with this contrast. I mean, if you've probably seen it like on those old Porsches. It kind of goes with the Daytona too. Chill, we actually may have to use this for the SLR on this one. I think it wears it like perfectly. So, but yeah, and then of course, like you get the easy convertible top with the soft top right here. You can just push this up with one hand. This latches down just like so, and then you can just push this up super easily. So just like that. Now I'll go swing over to the one of one edition that we have. This is actually going to a new home over in Newport Beach. So another very, very happy client. And of course, they're going to keep the bow on there. But check out the interior. So all the bows and all the flowers that you can possibly imagine have been printed onto this interior with matching pink stitching, Wimbledon white accents, white seat belts, billet aluminum accessories all throughout. And of course you get this window crank just from the Classic. So you get your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto, but funny enough, I've actually driven a bright pink one up and down Highway 1, and you do get a lot of looks, and it was a lot of fun, but it did not have this interior, so I can't even imagine the types of reactions that I would have gotten, because I already was getting crazy reactions from the vehicle. But I think with the amount of miles that you can put on the vehicle, it's just you have to get probably a smile per mile. So smiles per miles, I think this we're going to start calling it. So, but it's a fully equipped build as well. This client worked directly, very closely with our design team. You have this beautiful floral soft top, the floral interior to go with it that matches. So very, very difficult to mess up any sort of combination of the vehicle. So I believe this is a client that is either over down in Alabama or over in Florida. Has an incredible car collection, probably more than I could probably count. And he wanted something unique that he doesn't have. And he's had the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris, the Rolls, I believe he's had the Bugattis as well. And you just don't see a vehicle like this, and he's going to use this part of his rotation. And typically you wouldn't have classic cars a part of your rotation, because you wouldn't know if you can get into it. And like for example, like he's a lawyer, and you don't want to be late to court because of your car. That's like the last thing you probably want. But with this vehicle, you won't have to deal with it. You won't have to deal with it being hooked up to a trickle charger. With this vehicle, like I could probably tell you, like this is the Resto Mod, and the battery's probably dead. And I'll open this up, and the steps don't come down because it's not hooked up to the trickle charger. And that's just the limiting factor, one of the very, very limiting factors of this vehicle, because you have to make sure it's hooked up to the trickle charger. And it's just like one of those things that you don't have to deal with anymore, because the world has moved on, and we just saw this industry that was not evolving. And that's exactly why we moved into this, because we understood what the people wanted, our clients wanted. And you wanted something new. You wanted something that drove just like your modern luxury cars. So I actually love this spec. It's so clean. Chalk gray, no difference in accents. So like no Wimbledon white, like this vehicle. Like you got the Wimbledon white grille, Wimbledon white roll bars, stripes. And this one's just super clean, and a super clean white interior. And as you can tell, like before we ship it, we wrap everything up with the seats, the door panels, the floor mats, to ensure that nothing is damaged in transport, and just as perfect as it was when it left the showroom floor right here. So I'll walk through more of like the soft top, because that's another thing that is, a lot of clients, a lot of people have questions on, is, hey, how do I use the soft top? Because if, I live in Florida, or I live, where there's always spotty showers, including Georgia, is, how easy is it to pop over? Well, super easy. You just push this up with one hand, and this latches down just like so. And then you have these two latches on the inside that will fold down super easily right in here. So just like so, that goes all the way down. You push it up with one hand, and then that latches down. And each one of these vehicles, when it's fully enclosed, just like this, is each one of them get fully water tested. And we have clients all across the country, in the northern climates, in the southern climates, that are very happy with the vehicle and have had no issues with top, and they're all water tested to ensure they're absolutely 100% before it ships out. And then you can just push this up with one hand. You have sun over your front seats, so when you are driving through Palm Beach, you see the palm trees through the top, not the white ceiling here. So yeah, and this client, I believe he's going to have it down in Florida. So another client that's had the bad experiences with classic cars, and that he just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. And finally just going to pull the trigger on something that you get the best of both worlds. So go swing over more through the production line, the boxwood green. And for you new viewers out there, we went through the whole production process on the vehicle, but this is where we start on the vehicles from our paint facility. It's another huge aspect that we do with our builds, is we do all the paint in-house. We stamp and tool our own steel body panels, and we are not doing any or using anything that's aftermarket or cheaply made from overseas. And these are steel stamped Detroit stamped steel. Gosh, every single time I pass this color, it just grows on me more and more. And I think the stripes, like once it gets all put together with the chrome wheels, and I don't know what top we're going with. I hope it's something custom, because it's either got to be the espresso brown top or maybe even a Wimbledon white top. I think we'll just tie it all together. I'd have to look at what we have planned for this one, but it looks so good. And then we have the Brittany blue, which is one of the most iconic colors, with the ball glove brown interior. And so each one of the builds will come with like a modern turbocharged engine. So it's a Ford motor with a Ford transmission, and we partnered up with Roush Performance. For, if you guys are familiar with like Roush Performance, they do like our intake, exhaust, and Ford Performance tune. And each build's pushing about 330 horsepower and about 400 pound-feet of torque. So this is where we're doing some behind the scenes filming. The vintage stripes and the chocolate interior with the woven tuxedo. So one that I just showed you guys, but even under the lights, it just ties it in so well. So, but it was a great live with you guys today, and we'll have another one here tomorrow, and we'll see a bunch of new changes throughout the production line, and we'll see if that top on the Pebble Beach green gets installed, and also the interior.